Now I'm going to get a bit more metaphysical. And I'm going to discuss the energies that are flowing through this space. And you're going to have to bear with me and get a bit more abstract-minded. And stop being so literal. Angels don't all have to have wings. And they don't all have to look like men. And in the abstract, it's music, it's energy, it's math. You could call it whatever you want, but they're impressions and it's momentum. And everything we see in our world is a byproduct of the soup that is above, funneling into our space. And each of us has the ability to access these spaces and introduce something possible, something new, and rearrange the order of things, because we are a piece of God when we witness it, and we witness it in others. Now, I wrote that when every time an individual sheds a tear for the wicked, a mighty angel rises above to protect our world from conflict. I want you to think about this for a moment. An individual does heinous things. They marginalize the innocent. They create chaos and inflict harm. They maim, they rape. Terrible, heinous things. They're not free. They could be free, but they are not. They are governed by the momentum that surrounds them, that's in the construct of what they have become. They do this. They afflict another. And the other is now charged with the ability, charged up with all this power of rage and anger and hostility and self-righteous justice, and I will avenge. And this happens backward, forward, back again. And is it any different? It's the same energy. It matters not if one individual is the victim and the other the oppressor. The victim that does this thing will eventually become the oppressor to another, because they've been inflicted. They've become wedded to the very same stream, the very same energy. The only way to bypass this, the only way to transcend it, to say, I will not make my decision based on the momentum that has been thrust upon me, but I will make a sovereign decision. And my natural state is to love. So when I am faced with calamity and dastardly action, and it threatens my very core and my very existence, my survivalist nature says, protect yourself. Fight or flight, but certainly there is no room for compassion. And that's exactly the moment that if an individual leaps beyond the construct of what has been circling their soul and borrows from another space a perspective, a bird's eye view, and has profound compassion for the state of affairs, that must have contributed to bring a person to this level of depravity and cry a tear and feel for another, as the other is an aspect of the greater self. They are not other. They're one. They're a reflection of an aspect within my collective psyche that is not aligned with the greater harmony, that has not been given proper expression. So is now a free radical in the continuum of existence that I witness. If you yield true compassion, the mystics related that every emotional expression creates an angel. And what is an angel? An angel means a messenger. Angelios. It's a messenger. It's not the cause, it's the effect. And the effect has another effect. And it's called a ripple effect or a domino effect. And these are called angels. That ripple from initial creativity. And what is the ripple that you choose to contribute? What is the ripple that you choose to add? Do you just absorb, sit, and take it? Do you get saturated with the prevailing verb and you lash out to the next to propel it further? We all have moments of weakness, but when you collect yourself, think for a moment, what is the objective? Is not the objective to hit that ball square right between the stitches and knock it out of the park? To meet the momentum with an equal force and propel it back so the shattering and the reverberations and the trickle effect, the dominoes begin to fall back from whence it came to realign what is contributing to this realm. We have that ability. That's the most powerful, potent technology this world has ever known. It's called unconditional love. And when you have compassion for the wicked, you have shown unconditional love. You have shown that love is unconditional. You have not been seduced to brand people and put them in boxes, but you recognize them in their creative essence. And you can feel compassion for how they have been twisted and distorted. And you can feel for it. You can feel for the tragic parade of existence that forces naive individuals into binds of oppression and oppressing others and not being able to witness their divine state. And you can feel great compassion for this. And as you do so, there is a magnification that takes root, a focus. The funnel pouring into our existence gets a little bit wider, and something bigger can come through. A seed can be planted here that is far more powerful, far more advanced. And an angel is just a holographic intelligence of momentum, of effect. And when you propel that effect on high, you reset the deck and you reset the momentum. You, first of all, you've cut off the continuation, the proliferation of the status quo. And secondly, you've introduced a completely new variable to the equation. And thirdly, you've rearranged the alignment of how things flow through above. And these are the seeds of change. And how do you explain this to individuals that line up and protest and castigate their opponents and label them as irredeemable? But we all know that historically, as soon as the next group gets in power, as soon as they get indoctrinated into the construct of power and dominion and retribution, it is short time before they perpetrate the very same things that they had risen to obliterate. And so from a bird's eye view, it's all futile. The work is done above. The work is done through love. The work is done by creating a mighty angel above to reassess the situation, to allow a greater flow of possibility to come through. And yes, it seems like they're the ones doing it, but would there be a protest movement if individuals did not realign things above, did not plant the seeds? And do protest movements, do they have to be so violent? And can they be more loving or more harmonic? Can we grow to understand that we need each other in order to have a stability in a country? And remember when the Iraq War, when they tried to get rid of all the previous regime, then nothing could run. And they discovered they have to bring back essential services from the previous regime. And so the idea here is like, if you think about the human body, the human body malady takes root by imbalance. If you fight the imbalance, you destroy yourself. If someone develops a cancer that's too much replication of a particular cell, and you attack it, you will attack it, and you will toxify the environment for all the rest of fluid and healthy living. You cannot isolate and destroy it by spreading radiation. You can only hope to develop a technology that harmonizes, that realigns, brings things back to their initial architecture. There's never a place for vengeance, and there is never a place for this kind of mob mentality. There is a place for profound compassion. And a forum of profound compassion will create the greatest reverberation and the greatest change. And probably the only thing that would reach the people that are perpetrating these awful acts, because you will awaken them to something that's sovereign. And they can themselves expand to a language of sovereignty. And they can learn the sacred language. And one by one, together, we will discover and witness that it's like a butterfly effect. We each impact the world of each other. We're living and sharing this, and we're all pieces of the divine. And we will adjust to achieve a greater harmony without swinging back and forward like a ping pong game from one extreme to the next in order to be able to evolve and expand and take that quantum leap. We can take that leap straight forward in a smooth, quick, and aligned space when we begin to recognize what each party is contributing as part of the truth of the Creator. And those are the seeds for planting peace on earth.